what seems to be the case that never goes away, but somehow we know very, very, very little about. The Zack Scrivner, former Kern County Supervisor case, takes another mysterious turn, I guess you could say. A motion has been filed seeking a mental health diversion for former Supervisor Zack Scrivner. If granted, and it's something we all knew already. Let's just go ahead and act like it's something that we already knew. My boy isn't probably going to spend a day in jail. Not one. Not a single solitary. He didn't even get cuffs put on him that night, I believe. Nice. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I guess I do, depending on who you know. The 51-year-old Mr. Scrivner is charged with multiple felonies, 3 counts of child cruelty, and 2 counts of illegally possessing an assault rifle. There should be more charges, in my opinion. This all stems from, way back, over a year, if not longer. If you don't know or familiar with the case, former Kern County Supervisor, who was a supervisor at the time of the incident, something happened at his home up in Tehachapi. What exactly went down, we'll probably never know the details. But it involved minors who, from what appears in court documents to be his children. That night at the Scrivner home, again, we don't know the exact details, but there's alleged that he was in bed. He was on mushrooms. He was in bed with a minor. There's an altercation, this all allegedly, between him and his sons. And then there was the infamous phone call from the district attorney, Cynthia Zimmer, who just so happens to be Mr. Scrivner's aunt. If you're wondering why Mr. Scrivner is getting the special treatment, because, well, hell, there was special treatment done that night when the district attorney, Ms. Zimmer, decided she was going to not call 911, even though there was serious issues taking place in the home that evening. No, we're not going to call 911. I, as the district attorney, will just call the sheriff, Mr. Youngblood himself. The infamous phone call that Ms. Zimmer placed to Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, in which the sheriff dispatched deputies to the residence. Sorry, my phone is going. People apparently, it's always spam calls. Wish that would just stop already. But deputies were dispatched that evening. Mr. Scrivner was not taken into custody, but from what I understand, allegedly, I have to say, because God forbid H.A. Sala come after me. But I heard, allegedly, he was taken to Mary Kay Shell that night. Not even taken in, not placed in cuffs, never booked, nothing. And now it appears Mr. Scrivner will never spend a day in jail. The motion filed by his attorney is scheduled for a hearing October 16th. It is under seal because, God forbid, Mr. Sala reveal any of that information. And that's the biggest part of this. That's the biggest issue in this case, is the transparency. We've gotten none. Zero. Zilch. Whether it be from the only person that's actually come out and spoken and washed their hands of it is Kern County Sheriff Donnie Youngblood. He came out that next day and said, I wouldn't be standing here if there wasn't the evidence. I may be paraphrasing there, but I'm sure the sheriff will correct me. And he'll never spend a day in jail. And we'll never know the true facts of what went down that night. And so if this, and it appears that it is, because you remember there was a hearing about a month or so ago in which the attorneys, Mr. Sala, and the state prosecutor, because remember, this isn't being prosecuted by the Kern County District Attorney's Office due to conflict of interest. And so the state prosecutor and the defense attorney, Mr. Sala, met with the judge behind closed doors in the judge's chambers, which we'll never know what was said in there, but to basically work out a plea deal. And then after that closed door meeting, Mr. Sala asked for more time to be able to put together a motion. Well, we've learned now what that motion is. He wants to seek mental health diversion. Mental health, but it says, goes on to say, in cases where mental health diversion is granted, defendants undergo treatment. And if they fulfill all court-ordered requirements and stay out of trouble, are able to get their case dismissed. It's unclear what mental health disorder Scrivner has, because apparently he can attend classes while having a mental health disorder, as we learned months later when he decided to enroll in city management classes at Cal State University of Bakersfield, where KGET tracked him down and chased him around with cameras. So apparently he can do that under his mental state, but he can't go to jail for a crime he committed, allegedly. He can't support his kids because he doesn't have a job anymore. But of course, somebody can afford H.A. Sala, who, trust me, is not cheap. Those pinstripes don't come cheap. He can apparently afford classes at Cal State University of Bakersfield. This case we'll just never know. We'll never know. The case against the 51-year-old with the complaint filed by the state attorney general's office state that Scrivner took mind-altering substances on the evening of April 23rd, 2024, then got in bed with and sexually penetrated a child, even though he's not being charged anywhere with that. The complaint also says he illegally possessed an AK-47 style rifle and an AR-15, which maybe that's why his aunt didn't want just some random deputies or Tehachapi PD showing at the door and notice, oh crap, there's guns. We could potentially have a bigger problem here. No, let me go ahead and call the sheriff, who I know personally, and send over some of his deputies that can take care of this without there being any incident. Well, couldn't keep that under so tight wraps now, could you? But it appears now very clear and very apparent that Mr. Zack Scrivner will never see the inside of a jail cell. That he has, what's the word I'm looking for? Severely traumatized not only his children, but his ex-wife, his family, and he is going to get off scot-free. And the only thing I can do is pray for the children that were involved, pray for his ex-wife, and heck, even pray for Mr. Scrivner himself. It's a shame. What's gonna be the outcome? I'm upset, and you should be too. The fact that he can get away with this and never see jail, it's just astonishing to me. Claim mental health. Mental health. Even though he's going to classes, even though he's out living his life, what kind of mental health problems does Mr. Scrivner have where he can elude jail time for what the complaint says, taking mushrooms? Well, they didn't say mushrooms. They just said mind-altering drugs, but we've all heard the rumors that it was mushrooms. They get into bed with his daughter and sexually penetrate a child, allegedly, Mr. Sala. There's just a different set of rules for certain people.